Now wait.
Just pretty.
For real, okay, I don't stop that. I'm sorry, I can't know. But it's gonna be okay.
I swear.
It's like
I see that his PM is in vanish mode. Talking about too fine.
How did you even see that? Did you
Alright, so I did. I can go to his page. He was in Atlanta, and when he was hitting you.
You can never break me. Never. I'm trying to get some money.
You.
No, you.
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 I'm done with you. You dead to me. So what?
Get the papers. I'm gonna take the high road like I should have done a long time ago.
A clear Friday night that made everything seem more subdued and reflective. After a long week of work, Kendra had spent the day anticipating a quiet evening at home, a much-needed respite from her busy life. She was prepared to surprise her boyfriend, young Jock, with a romantic dinner because they hadn't had much time together lately due to his career, personal pressures, and the drama in their respective social circles. However, she thought that tonight would be different, so she prepared his favorite meal, set the table with candles, and even created a playlist of songs that brought back memories of their early relationship. When she got home, her heart skipped a beat, eager to see him laugh and reconnect. However, something felt strange, as there was a strange silence in the air, no sounds of him greeting her, no playful remarks, and no bustling in the kitchen like she had imagined. She stopped in the entryway and listened intently, and then she heard it laughing. It was hushed, almost playful, but unmistakable. When Kendra heard that voice, her heart fell and her pulse accelerated. Young, Jock's voice. But it wasn't only his. Karlie Red's voice, which made her stomach turn, was another voice that chilled her. Kendra had been suspicious of Karlie, Jock's ex-girlfriend from the beginning, but she had trusted Jose and believed his claims that she was just a ghost from the past. However, the unmistakable sounds of familiarity coming from her bedroom now broke that trust without her realizing it. Kendra's mind raced as her feet started to travel in the direction of the disturbance. She tried to understand what was happening, but she was unable to do so. It seemed as though her body was following her instincts, pushing her ahead even though she knew deep down that she wasn't prepared for what she was about to encounter. When Kendra arrived at the hallway leading to the bedroom, her heart was thumping in her chest as she walked slowly toward the door, her hand shaking as she grasped the knob. She paused for a moment, taking in the silence, and then she pushed the door open. The sight that met her eyes brought her world to a halt as she saw a young Jock, half-dressed, sprawled out on the bed, and Karlie Red sat by him, her hand on his chest, as they had a private, peaceful time. Jock's eyes were wide with shock, and Karlie had a small smirk on the tip of her lips as she looked at Kendra. Kendra felt as if the room was closing in on her, crushing her with a weight she couldn't get out of, and her breath caught in her throat, preventing her from moving or speaking. The Jock struggled for his shirt while scrambling to sit up, his cheeks flushed. Karlie, however, appeared unfazed and merely sat there as though this were just another typical day in her game with the young Jock. All Kendra could sense was the betrayal, yet her mind was racing as she tried to make sense of what she was seeing. Kendra Jock jumped up, his eyes wide, his palms lifted in a feeble attempt to explain, "I didn't expect you home so soon. This isn't what it looks like." His voice was quiet, almost imploring. Kendra shook her head slowly, her eyes burning with unshed tears, her voice cracking under the weight of her incredulity at how it could not be what it appeared to be. "Jose, you're in my bed with her, your ex." Jock's expression clenched, and he moved to approach her, but Kendrick stopped him in his tracks. She stopped him with her hand because she couldn't stand to look at him or hear his justifications. Before she allowed him to witness her breakdown, every ounce of her being told her to exit the room. Kendra, please, he said, moving forward one more step. Let me clarify that it's not what you believe. We're just chatting when Karlie came over to discuss some old stuff, which Kendra repeated angrily. You think I'm dumb? She's your ex-girlfriend, Joe, and she's not talking about old stuff. She's in my bed like she belongs here. After remaining silent for a while, Karlie eventually spoke. Her voice was calm and collected with an edge of coldness that only exacerbated the circumstances. Kendra, my dear, he's not just yours, not entirely. And tonight he's remembering that. Kendra's heart broke at Karlie's words. The venom in her tone made it clear that Jock shifted uncomfortably beside her. But he didn't speak or defend Kendra. Instead, he stood there caught between the past and the present like a man who lacked the courage to make a decision. I'm not here to stir the pot, but Jock and I have a history together, and it's obvious that we have unresolved business. Kendra's eyes filled with tears as she glanced at both Jose and Karlie. Jock looked hurt, his face crumpling with guilt, and he opened his mouth to say something, but nothing came out. You've been lying to me the entire time, haven't you? You've been playing me like you're over her when you're obviously not, and now you bring her into my house like it's nothing. I trusted you, Jock. Kendra looked away, her heart hurting from the weight of everything she believed she knew crumbling around her, and she mumbled, I love you. She couldn't stay in that room for another second, couldn't look at him, couldn't face the woman who had never let him go. The cold air hit her like a slap, but it was nothing compared to the icy feeling that settled deep in her chest as Kendra fled the room, her hands shaking, grabbing her purse and running out of the house. She didn't know where she was going or what she was doing, only that she needed to get away from them both. The betrayal cut deeper than she could have imagined, and the pain was almost unbearable at that moment. Joker stood in the doorway, watching her go, knowing that he had just lost her, but a part of him couldn't bring himself to turn away from Karlie. Karlie looked at him inside the house with a knowing smile curling at the corners of her lips. She wasn't just a part of his past, she was a lingering presence that had never truly gone away, and tonight she had reminded him that Kendra was gone and that Jock was left standing there alone with the consequences of his choices. He knew deep down that he had just lost something real, but the question still stood, could he ever move on and let go of the past, or would he be stuck between the woman he had loved and the one who was still pulling at his heartstrings? Kendra walked into the night with a heavy heart. She didn't know what lay ahead, but she knew she couldn't stay in a place where she wasn't wanted, and she vowed to find a way to heal and rebuild herself without him. As the chilly wind bit her skin,
Now wait.
This thing. Sure, don't cry. I don't stand there. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But it's gonna be okay. I swear. It's like.
I see that his PM is in vanish mode. Talking about too fine.
How did you even see that? Did you go?
Alright, so I did. I can go to his page. He was in Atlanta, and when he was hitting you,
You can never break me. Never. I'm trying to get some money.
you.
No, you.
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 I'm done with you. Exactly. For what?
Get the papers. I'm gonna take the high road like I should have done a long time ago.